Good morning. I've got my celery all washed and cleansed and clean. I discovered the medical medium on YouTube. And celery juice, if you do it every morning, cleanses your body. If you're feeling sick or if you're feeling not the same way you used to feel and you're wondering what's going on with your body, celery juice in the morning is a great way to detox yourself and get your skin under control. So I wanted to share what I'm doing. So every morning, 16 ounces of celery juice. On an empty stomach, nothing else, just celery juice. So I wanted to share because I know I'm going to be having incredible results, and you guys are going to be wondering, girl, what are you doing? How are you staying so young and youthful and energetic and amazing at almost 53 years old? Well, I seek out help when for years I've had this bloating in my stomach and I haven't known why. And then I hit menopause and that made it worse. And then I didn't know which foods would trigger that. So then you go on the, oh, should I be a vegan? Oh, should I be plant-based? What should I do? And so he gets information from source and he has several books. So I just ordered the Cleanse to Heal book. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm just gonna work on myself and get myself healthy because I'm not going to the doctor, or I don't want to be on prescription drugs. So I'm going to be doing all this stuff to just heal myself. And I wanted to take you along on the journey of what I'm doing, just to kind of give you kind of a piece of behind the scenes, because I really never show you a lot about stuff that I research or check out. But just celery juice, 16 ounces every morning on an empty stomach. Research him, medical medium, on YouTube. He's not a doctor, he just gets information from source, which is even better, because then he's not trying to make money off of us, trying to give us these crazy things that are gonna make them money, you know. So I just use this. You can get any juicer on Amazon, whatever works for you. They have them in all different price ranges. I used to have a Jack LaLanne, I think that's what it was called, but it was just so hard to clean. This is just, you just take this part off right here individually, this comes off, and then the things inside, you just wash it. It's so much easier, just this one part right here. Oh. So make sure you wash your celery really good in hot water, and then let it dry off in the sun, as you saw me doing. Because you don't want to mix water or anything with this celery juice. You want pure celery juice. And that's how I start my mornings. Hi guys, how you doing? Oh, did you see me shaking the whole camera holder, tripod, whatever they're called? You know, I went for a walk today, which I do every single day. I love my little Bella girl, because she has taught me how to live, basically. Why do you think there's so many people that have dogs? Because it's so much fun taking them on walks every day, right? Would we take our walks if we didn't have animals? Maybe, maybe not, depends on how disciplined you are. But as I was walking, I was reflecting, and many of you ask, well, I don't know how to meditate, or I don't know how to get silence with myself, or what to do. And it's just as simple as taking a walk, but not racing through the walk, but just like looking around and seeing all the beauty around you. You know, I've always loved walks, no matter where I've lived, because if you take the time to just be one with nature. Stare up at the birds, that's meditation. Clear your thoughts, that's meditation. Look up at the sky, see what different colors you see in the clouds. Listen to the sounds. If it's windy, there's a little breeze in the leaves of the trees. Pay attention to all the different kinds of trees. I mean, there are so many different colors and so much beauty just in trees alone. And then you look up at the sky, and if you're lucky enough to look up the mountains, I have a lot of mountains all around me, and the different colors. And no matter what kind of weather it is, I do my best to appreciate that. You see, that's when I enjoy walks. And it brought me to a story I just want to tell you really quick. I'll try not to get too wordy or too long, but as I do that, thoughts pop into my mind of video ideas and things I can talk about. You see, I've been on here for so many years, and you've continued to watch me, and I'm so thankful, and I've got new people, and I'm so thankful. And you come on here and you wonder, what the heck? One minute she's dancing in her kitchen, swimming in the pool, or crying, or giving motivation advice, or working out, or hiking, or, you see, we have many facets to our personality. And the problem is, and this is what I discovered, and these are the thoughts that were coming. So while I have it in my mind, I wanted to get on here really quick. Just barely got back, watered the front of my yard. And I thought, I want to get on here and give you this message, because somebody needs to hear this today. I know I need to hear it. So what we do in society in general is we stay busy. We stay busy. For years, I was running from myself, running, staying busy, raising kids, taking care of my husband, taking care of the house, being a robot, doing everything. I never knew self-care. That may sound crazy, but until I was in my 40s, I had never gotten my nails done before, never got a pedicure. I always did everything myself. I always just did if I could, you know. I never knew what it was like to eat healthy and nutritional, because my parents were just like, my mom was like, canned food was her best friend. They didn't have a lot of money, so whatever we could open up in a can, that's what we got. SpaghettiOs, raviolis, whatever was in the freezer, frozen lasagnas, frozen pizzas. That's how I grew up. I didn't know any better. We don't know any better. We as children come into this world, and we trust our parents to guide us and lead us into a direction that will make us happy and healthy and comfortable and loved and secure and cared for. But unfortunately, it doesn't always happen. And then we're left with health problems, not knowing what to do because we gain weight. Our mind is all messed up and clouded, and we got headaches. We don't feel good. We have fatigue. Some of us can't even get out of bed because the foods we eat are so bad for us. There's no nutritional factor. So we're like left with malnutrition. We're like, we don't get it. There's so many people that don't get any nutrition ever. Hardly. If you're eating out of the can. And so then I did the best I could. I started cooking every meal. And, you know, feeding my kids home-cooked meals. Were they always healthy? No, but they were all home-cooked, and they weren't out of a can, and they weren't out of well, sometimes they were out of a box. Sometimes they were that rice, saroni, and sometimes they were canned peas, you know, so it was kind of a mixture, kind of like semi-homemade meals. And so I did the best I could. I raised them, got them in the world. They are now flying into the world. They're amazing, 3 amazing individuals creating their own beautiful lives however they choose. I raised them with their own voice, with their own mind, and they can do whatever they want, whatever makes them happy. And that's how I raised them. And then I started this new chapter of my life, in my 40s, realizing, oh my gosh, I can go get my nails done. Started making money with YouTube, you know, and I got really excited. I was into this, fake it till you make it. I'm going to make videos even though nobody's watching. I'm going to make money. I'm going to become a runway curvy model next to my pool, even if only I get the benefit out of it. And then I created this channel doing Beachbody coaching and all of that, doing the best I could, but feeling so like bloated in my stomach all the time, just like bloated. And then I developed fibroids, and then I had to get I started bleeding uncontrollably, and had to get a partial hysterectomy, and blah, 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 blah. The health journey just continued. And I loved fast food, and I loved just that quick fix of just like, when I could afford it, I was like, oh my God, I've never been able to afford to go out to eat, you know? So then I just took it to the other extreme, and I just started going out to eat or ordering DoorDash, or just hurting myself basically. But I had to get through that out of my system. And what I'm finding in life is that we are our own teachers, and we do whatever we feel led to do. Nobody can tell us anything. Whether you've got a drug problem, alcohol problem, food addiction, whatever your addiction is, you have to figure out a way to fix it, because you have to get sick enough to want to fix it. Nobody else can say, hey girl, hey, I got this keto diet, or I've got this eat onions every day, or. No, you have to kind of feel things out and do your own research and discover what it is that works for you. And so now I'm discovering, so I went through the husband thing. I made enough money to leave the husband, gave him the house. I'm very proud of that. I signed the house over to him, and I started completely over at 50. Now, obviously, we don't want to have to do that. We don't want to have to start over in the 50s. But I was here to birth my children. I stayed, I raised them. Now they're all on their own, doing amazing. And now it's my turn. And sometimes what I feel like is when you're left with an empty nester syndrome, mostly you're with your husband, probably, mostly. But then sometimes you look at your husband and go, oh my God, I don't even know who you are, because I was raising kids. And now we don't really have anything in common, and your buffer is gone, and you're left with, oh shit, now what do I do? So that's what happened to me. So I went on my own merry way, moved in with my sister, put everything in storage, didn't know what the heck I was gonna do. I look back at those videos and go crying out in her yard going, oh my God, I don't even know where to start, where to go, what to do. Just panic, but knew that I had to go. Sometimes we have forks in the roads that say, I can stay and be a victim and be miserable the rest of my life. Or I can trust my own abilities and my own strengths, whatever that looks like to you. Everybody's way of making money is not like anybody else's. So you have to find out your gifts and talents inside of yourself and figure out how you're going to do this next phase of life, which I believe that the next phase, we have menopause, and we have, you know, things like that to just kind of wake us up, the next phase of our life. You know, women and men get menopause or whatever. Then you have to, you no longer put up with the things that you used to put up, because first of all, you're getting older. You don't have the energy to run 3,000 marathons every single day, and you feel like crap. So then you have to get serious with yourself and say, okay, I want to be happy. I want to be free. I want to be healthy. And those become your focus: health, happiness, and freedom. So how are you going to get that? Maybe for the first time in your life, people. If you're in a situation now and you're miserable, you understand what I'm talking about. Not everybody can get out. I realize that. There's situations that you're stuck, you're whatever, but I believe that if you dig deep, deep enough, that you'll find the answers. And that's why I talked about the meditation and walks at the beginning of the video, because that's where it starts. That's the catalyst of your life. If you go out and you take your dog, or even if you do it by yourself, and you start looking up at the clouds, I know this may sound silly to some. If you start looking up at the clouds and you start looking at the trees and you start appreciating the beauty and the gratitude that's free all around you. None of that costs any money. You just are there. Go to a park. It's beautiful. Somebody else takes care of the landscaping. Somebody else waters. You just get to go there and just like, wow, this is beautiful. And you start appreciating that you can walk and that you can move at any age. And you start implementing foods that your body, that nourish you and make you healthy, and smaller portions, and just listen to what makes you healthy. There are so many people out there in the health industry that are making everybody so confused. On this journey now of being alone and now starting over and buying my first house all by myself and starting over and living by myself, I didn't have all the answers. I still don't have the answers. So when you start feeling like crap and you're all bloaty and you can't eat the foods that you used to eat that were all that crap, that weren't nourishing your body anyway, but they were in your comfort zone, then you start searching out answers, and you realize you got to exercise every day. That's imperative. You got to get off the couch. And sometimes there's nobody to tell you that. I'm my own everything. I have to be my own motivator, my own cheerleader, my own moneymaker, my own taking care of the whole house myself. I'm my everything. I have to depend on myself for everything. So when you run from yourself and you don't take care of yourself and you're taking care of everybody else all over your family, this, that, there are distractions to keep you miserable and unhealthy. And you're searching out caffeines and things that are just making you all jittery, and they're not doing anything for your body. They're making you go to the bathroom all the time because your body's in a panic mode because you're putting all that caffeine in your body, and you're doing drugs. You're doing a drug for hiking, and you're doing a downer to stay home and chill so you don't have those thoughts in your mind, and you're having, something to sleep, and you're having something to do this and that. You're masking the problems, and you're having the prescription drugs that your doctor will tell you you've got autoimmune diseases, and you've got they're not saying you've got copper in your liver, and because they're spraying all the fruits and vegetables with copper and poisons and everything, and we're not washing our vegetables properly. And they're not telling us what the root of the cause is. So I found this medical medium here on YouTube. You might want to go check him out. He has answers from the spirit. I don't know if you believe in that, but I do. And I know that the voice inside of ourselves is spirit. So when we're eating bad foods, we're at a lower vibration in our whole entire life. Do you ever wonder why some people are down, their vibrations are low, and so they just are okay with just living in a low vibration? Everything, nothing really matters or bothers them. They're just kind of surviving. Well, I lived that way for a lot of years. But then I went searching for more. I wanted more. In my marriage, I wanted more. I wasn't getting everything. My needs were not being met with myself or, with anything. So I went searching for more. I wanted more. And so I'm constantly doing that. I'm constantly searching for more answers and more conclusions. And as I wrap this up, I'm deciding to, I'm doing celery juice in the morning. I'll clip the video here at the beginning. And that's cleaning out my body. I'm learning that there are bugs inside of us, and eggs and certain foods. He has books that tell you all about this. And I'm finally learning what to do for me. I have been so afraid of lectins and so afraid of eating fruit or so afraid of eating meat. I mean, these health professionals make money off of scaring everybody, basically. So you don't know what to do. It's that bad. So I was drinking apple cider. Come to find out, apple cider vinegar will rot your teeth, and most of the stars that talk about it all have veneers and fake teeth. So they don't tell you that their teeth crumbled and they all rotted because they drink apple cider every day. I mean, there's so many things that are so misconstrued and so misleading. So I would just recommend you do your own research. And if it feels right in your heart and you feel better, then do it. And always listen to yourself. So at the end of the day, it starts with you and ends with you. Whether you're in a relationship or not, never let sight of your voice. Never be with somebody who only allows you to do it their way, not your way. Always listen to yourself. You have all the answers inside yourself. And if you don't, you research and you research and you research until you find what works for you. Never listen to anybody else, not even me. I'm just simply telling you my story. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or how to live, how to act. I'm just saying that I'm about to turn 53 next month. And I am finally taking care of myself. And I'm not afraid to be alone. I'm not afraid to go hiking alone. I'm not afraid to do all the things that I was afraid of for so many years because I listened to somebody else tell me that everything was scary and everything was fearful. It starts with your mom saying, don't go outside. Ah! No, just when you start saying great things and start attracting love and abundance and spontaneity and self-care, and you start living that way and you get rid of fear. Obviously, you take your precautions. Obviously, I'm not saying be stupid, but I'm just saying you no longer have to live your life in fear of this, fear of that. If I lived in fear, I wouldn't be here living alone right now. I wouldn't have bought this house 2 years ago. I wouldn't have left my husband, only to find that this is the best I've ever felt. And I'm still discovering new ways to live every single day. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please leave your comments below. If this helped you in any way, then I'm so grateful. And if nothing else, just learn to love yourself and stop running from yourself, because you can't get away from yourself. And God made you perfectly imperfect, so you don't have to take drugs or take alcohol to numb your pain. You can feel the feelings. I always say, go through that dark tunnel. Sometimes it's a really dark tunnel. But I promise you, when you get to that end of the tunnel and you see that amazing light that's at the end of that tunnel because you got sober and you started working on yourself, that it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful life, whatever you decide to do. I love you. Thanks for watching. Till my next video. Sometimes life forces us to make a decision. And it starts at the fork in the road. Do we stay if the situation's too bad? Or do we go? Sometimes you gotta silence your mind and discover what's next in your life. What else do you want? Where are you supposed to go? What are you supposed to do? Where do your passions lie? Where do your strengths lie? Yes, it takes courage to start new ideas and new plans. But I promise you, at the fork in the road, if you approach it with courage and strength, that your life can only get better from here on out.